Hi, it's Dave Perry. I am here with Tim Witherell of Hickory Springs, and we are talking about Better Sleep Council research. Tim, we just had a BSC meeting. We talked about the Q3 tracker, which shows in-store shopping is moved ahead of online for the first time in a year. What do you make of that?
I think it's interesting that we're seeing people go back out to retailers, which is good. What's also interesting is that we believe that the manufacturers have to have an omnipresence. It's showing us that you can't be one or the other. You're actually both. You've got to have an online presence and you've got to have a retail presence, is what we're seeing.
Well, don't you think that most consumers really want to try a mattress before they buy?
I would think so. I think it's one of those purchases that you want to lay down on it or jump up and down on the sides. Yes, we believe that our research shows that people want to try them out before.
I totally agree with that. Let's also talk about that famous three-legged stool. There's sleep, there's diet, exercise. But you know what the research shows? The sleep leg is actually taller. What do you make of that?
I think it's interesting that people now have realized in the last 18 months how important sleep is. The anxiety of the pandemic probably got a lot of people thinking about how to take care of themselves better, and they saw that they weren't getting sleep. Probably also focused on the bedroom.
Yeah, you know, on the better sleep percentage, in Q2 it was 60% said they had good or very good sleep. In Q3 it was 66, so it's gone up 6 percentage points. So Q3 was also the quarter of the Delta variant. So what do we think there? Maybe people are extra careful in these when there's a health crisis going on to sleep?
That's probably, I think, part of it that we read from it. We're also hoping that we read that people bought a really good mattress, and so it gave them a better night's sleep off of it, and they were able to get that 6% change.
Cocooning is another word that came up. There was more cocooning in Q3. When you look at next year, do you see cocooning remaining? I mean, do you think that this trend of really kind of my bedroom is my sanctuary, does that remain important?
We believe so. I think the research shows that it is. It's going to continue. The purchases that they've made in the last year have really, consumers have upgraded that area of their house. You can see that just from the backlog of orders when it comes to just bedroom furniture and mattresses that we've saw in the last 18 months. And so people are going to continue to spend time there, which is good for us as well too. So I think we're as the industry. So,
what message do we want to give the industry about BSC research? Isn't it just that the industry really needs to? We're providing great data. They need to dig into it. And how can they do that?
Yeah. So if you go to the website, the Better Sleep Council website, both and then ISPA, it's in Bed Times and Sleep Savvy. You can see the data. We're very proud that we're working hard to get that out quarterly, like you said. Which gives us a better frequency of how it's out in front of our partners that we're getting this data to.
Final question for you. You're looking at next year's business, 2022 business outlook. What do you see?
Continued labor constraints are going to be a big problem, I think, for everybody. The supply chain issue is also a worry. So how do you get that? We've spent a lot of time getting equipment in place here in the United States and less demand on offshore product. But it's still, I think those two things are going to make it for a challenging 2022. Labor in particular is going to be difficult.
Do you think you and I should become truck drivers next year?
It's certainly an area that's growing, and they need a lot of them, or longshoremen, one of the two, right?
They do. So, I don't know what kind of long distance driver I'd be, but I hear those ads and they're really looking for drivers. And,
yeah.
Truck drivers are kind of the unsung heroes. I mean, they knit everything together. And clearly we need more truck drivers.
We sure do. So maybe there should be a lot more schools pop up for those.
Yeah, that could be a good thing. Well, Tim, great catching up with you. I appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you, Dave.
Hope you have a great year next year and more BSC videos to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.